Welcome back to Reds Fusion LFC. Today's episode is packed with major developments from Anfield. From the heartbreaking impact of Diogo Jota's tragic death to Liverpool's bold £70 million move for Alexander Isak being rejected by Newcastle, and the possible game-changing partnership with Hugo Ekitike. Plus, is Harvey Elliott on his way out? You don't want to miss this one. Smash that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe for all things LFC. YNWA. Virgil van Dijk lifts lid on surreal impact Diogo Jota's death has had on Liverpool squad. Liverpool are still reeling from the tragic death of Diogo Jota, and the club are planning to honour his memory at their first home game since his passing in a friendly against Athletic Bilbao on Monday night. Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk has spoken out on the surreal impact of Diogo Jota's death on the rest of the squad, just over a month since his passing shocked the footballing world. The Reds are preparing to play their first home game since Jota died at the age of just 28 as they prepare for what promises to be an emotional friendly against Athletic Bilbao at Anfield on Monday night. Jota was killed in a horrific car crash alongside his brother Andre after their Lamborghini suffered a tire blowout while overtaking another car in Portugal. The car left the road and burst into flames. There has been an outpouring of grief from figures across the game, and almost the entire Liverpool squad flew out to Portugal to attend the player's funeral and show support to his family, including wife Ruth Cardoso and their 3 young children. Liverpool have made some big tributes towards Jota after retiring his number 20 shirt and making a Forever 20 emblem to be worn by players on their shirts this season. And Van Dijk has spoken about the impact Jota's death has had on the squad as they prepare to pay further tribute to their beloved former teammate on Monday night, acknowledging a surreal time for the players in Liverpool's official program for the game. It has, of course, been a very challenging time, he wrote. First and foremost for Diogo and Andre's family, for Ruth and the kids. They are the people who must always come first in all of this. We must never forget that, and we cannot imagine their pain in this moment. It is still a bit surreal, to be honest, but we are coping in the best way possible as a team, and we are all trying to do the best job we can in order to get through this really difficult time. With everything that happened, it has been strange having to now try to carry on with work, with football. We will never forget Diogo, of course, but we just have to try to honor his memory. That's what we try to do each and every day. I always come back to the fact that we have to look after Diogo's family, his parents, and that's the main thing. You think about so many different things, and it's difficult to process. You can't imagine the pain, the feeling that they have. That's why we try to be there as much as we can, and for each other as well. That's also why it is very important that we honor and carry on his legacy, not only for now and the next couple of months, but for as long as we can, because that is what he deserves. Liverpool have already got blueprint for Alexander Isak and Hugo Ekitike partnership. Latest Liverpool transfer news and gossip as Alexander Isak continues to be linked with a move to the Reds, who recently signed Hugo Ekitike from Eintracht Frankfurt. Liverpool have already signed one striker this summer, and it's possible that another arrives before the transfer window closes. The Reds have until September 1st to complete their transfer business, having already made 7 new signings so far. Hugo Ekitike is one of the 7 new faces added to the Liverpool squad, joining Jeremy Frimpong, Florian Wirtz, Milos Kerkez, Georgi Mamardashvili, Armin Pexi and Freddie Woodman. There is also the potential for the Reds to go into the market for another new signing. Newcastle United striker Alexander Isak is continuing to be linked with a move to Liverpool. The Reds had a £110 million bid turned down last week, and the Echo understands that a second offer is not expected given the swift nature of the rejection by the Magpies. Despite this stance, Isak is continuing to be linked with a move to Anfield, which if a deal was to happen would see him join Ekitike in the Liverpool squad. Ekitike already has experience of playing alongside another striker from his time at Eintracht Frankfurt. Ekitike formed an impressive partnership with Omar Marmush at Frankfurt before the Egypt international joined Manchester City back in January. It remains to be seen what will happen with Isak's future, but Liverpool have already been told why the duo could work in a striker partnership. German football expert Seb Stafford-Bloor has explained why Ekitike's partnership with Marmoush is evidence why he could work in tandem with Isak in the same team. Stafford-Bloor was speaking about the prospect of Ekitike linking up with Isak at Newcastle, although the only way the duo could play on the same team is if the Sweden international was to sign for Liverpool. They, Ekitike and Marmoush, were one of the most attractive partnerships in the Bundesliga for a while, Stafford-Bloor said in an interview with TalkSport last month. They had their own compound nickname, Hugo Mar. There was real cohesion, understanding, and instinct between them, which is interesting because they were both quite similar and they both quite like to play in the same sort of areas. Marmoush is central with a kind of tendency to push left. Ekitike is very much the same, and yet they had an understanding whereby they didn't take over each other's space. They're able to dovetail. They're able to react to what the other was doing with the ball. Some really, really wonderful moments. Everything that people say about his, Ekitike. Technical ability is true, Stafford-Bloor added. He's a wonderful, exuberant, optimistic footballer, but intelligent as well. Smart, cognizant of what his teammates are doing around him. Door is open for Liverpool's move to sign Alexander Isak after £70 million transfer decision. Liverpool move closer to Alexander Isak deal amid £70 million transfer decision. Darwin Núñez's Anfield journey looks set to end this summer, with Al Hilal closing in on a £70 million deal to bring the Uruguayan striker to the Saudi Pro League. While Núñez departs with the admiration of a fanbase that always appreciated his effort and heart, the decision to sell him is less emotional and far more strategic. This is not about giving up on a player too soon, it's about restoring structure, purpose, and authority to Liverpool's recruitment and squad evolution. When FSG gave power to a new executive regime, it was with a remit to grow a world-class brand and establish itself as a true footballing powerhouse, one that would be built upon continual regeneration and sustainability. Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes have been handed full control of football operations, and this is their clearest statement yet. The decision to sanction Núñez's departure, despite his popularity and flashes of brilliance, demonstrates that Liverpool are no longer willing to compromise on fit, consistency, or financial logic. The fact that the Reds will recoup nearly all of the initial outlay due to the smart structuring of the original deal and several untriggered add-ons is testament to the negotiating skill now being in charge at Anfield. More importantly, the sale enables Liverpool to act swiftly and decisively in pursuing Alexander Isak. With Newcastle demanding upwards of £130 million, the £70 million windfall from Al Hilal can be immediately leveraged as a down payment as they look to land their replacement target. It's a domino move, one that only works if Liverpool are willing to detach sentiment from strategy. And this summer, that's exactly what they've done, with continuation assured. Under Jurgen Klopp, particularly in the latter half of his tenure, Liverpool's transfer process became increasingly manager-led. While Klopp's authority and achievements were rightly respected, it created tension between long-term squad planning and short-term fixes. The decision to bypass targets like Alexander Isak and Christopher Nkunku in favor of Darwin Núñez was emblematic of that shift, and one that led to imbalanced recruitment. The drop-off in standards was staggering at one point and can be used as a rule to turn over assets quickly and efficiently. Michael Edwards, having previously walked away from the club amid frustrations over his diminishing influence, has returned as CEO of football with total authority. Richard Hughes, his hand-picked sporting director, is already operating with the same data-driven, market-smart philosophy that defined Liverpool's golden era of squad building. In that context, Núñez's departure is not a misstep corrected. It's a philosophy restored and closes the chapter on a front line that never truly suited the brainchild of his employer. Newcastle's $93 million transfer battle with Man United could open door for Harvey Elliott to leave Liverpool. England under-21's hero Harvey Elliott could leave Liverpool this summer after experiencing a disappointing 2024-25 season, and a move to the Bundesliga could be on the cards. Newcastle's ongoing battle with Manchester United to sign Benjamin Sesko from RB Leipzig could open the door for Harvey Elliott to leave Liverpool. That's because Elliott is reportedly on the Bundesliga club's radar, and Sesko's exit would free up funds for Leipzig to make a move for Liverpool's out-of-favour midfielder. It comes as a possible exit option opened up over the weekend after a nightmare injury. After making significant strides under Jurgen Klopp, Elliott saw his game time reduced dramatically following the arrival of Arne Slot last season, and he had to wait until the Premier League title was wrapped up to make his first top-flight start of the campaign. A possible move to Leipzig for Elliott could also depend on the future of Leipzig midfielder Xavi Simons, who is attracting interest from Chelsea. Speaking in July, Elliott admitted he was considering his future at Liverpool, despite having supported the club since he was a young boy. "If I had it my way, I would be here for the rest of my career, it's as simple as that. I love everything about the club," Elliott said. "But at the same time, I kind of need to be selfish with myself and see what's best for me. I have big ambitions, I want to get in the World Cup squad, keep being successful as a player. I think it's still something I need to review. I need to have a talk with everyone and review the situation. Obviously we have many new players that have come in, so whether it blocks the path for me, I'm not sure. It's something for me to decide and have a look at. As I said, just review the situation. But my main focus is here. At the moment I'm here for the season, that's as far as I'm aware, unless anything changes. We have a busy pre-season, it's non-stop, I just need to make sure I focus on that and just be ready for anything." The comments echoed ones he made following Liverpool's penultimate game of the season, away to Brighton, a game in which he scored. "It's been hard with how much I've played," Elliott told Sky Sports after scoring on the South Coast. "I've tried as hard as I could and whatever happens, happens. It's about what's best for my career. It's about reflecting and seeing what I can do. I'm here at the moment and I'm focusing on the final game." Alexander Isak makes training decision after Newcastle United reject massive Liverpool bid. Newcastle United striker Alexander Isak has reportedly returned to the training ground days after the Magpies rejected a massive offer from Liverpool. Isak has emerged as one of the prime targets for Liverpool heading into the new season, and he has apparently informed Newcastle that he wishes to explore a move away from St James' Park, and more precisely to Anfield. The former Real Sociedad striker was omitted from Newcastle's pre-season tour of Asia, primarily because of the uncertainty surrounding his future. Liverpool reportedly submitted an opening bid worth a staggering £120 million plus add-ons, but the Magpies swiftly rejected it. According to a report from Sky Sports News, Isak was back at Newcastle's facility on Monday morning after arriving from Spain on Saturday afternoon. Newcastle are under no pressure to sell Isak. Newcastle boss Eddie Howe was far from impressed with Isak and has criticised the striker for acting poorly amid interest from Liverpool. Howe told the Daily Mail, "You have to earn the right to train with us. We are Newcastle United. The player has a responsibility here to be part of a team and part of a squad, you have to act in the right way. So that is also at play here. We will make sure that any player does that to earn the right to train with the group. No player can expect to act poorly and train with the group as normal." While the comments from the Newcastle boss may come as a boost for Liverpool, in truth, the Magpies are under no pressure to sell their talisman striker, who has a contract at St James' Park until 2028. Liverpool expected to make another offer for Isak. Despite signing Florian Wirtz and Hugo Ekitike, the Reds are short of options in their forward department, and they are more likely to make another concrete effort to land Isak. After selling Luis Diaz to Bayern Munich, the Reds could offload Darwin Núñez and Federico Chiesa, and they have the funds to meet Newcastle's asking price. The Magpies are unlikely to offload Isak unless they sign a new striker, and probably that's why Liverpool are biding their time to make another offer for the Swedish striker. Agreeing personal terms with the striker will not be an issue for the Reds, and they are reportedly confident of getting the deal done at some point before the end of the window.